Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Sprinkle Brothers podcast for the week of March 10th, 2024. Boys, how are you? How's it going? Happy spring.
I'm so empty inside.
Happy daylight savings. Happy Ramadan to you and yours. Spring forward, as it were. It's this Sunday.
This weekend. Yeah.
It's today, actually.
Fuck. That's good news.
Spring forward. But hey, at least the sun goes down an hour later. But for Brandon, it went down an hour earlier today because his day just was ruined at 9 a.m. when we got the news that Justin Simmons was cut. Boys, it got kind of contentious to start the pod. Like before we even started the podcast, I want to pick up where we left off of this discussion. And Brandon, I'm going to give you the floor to kind of just talk for a second. Talk to us about what you're going through, all the thoughts you have. Like, what are you feeling? Russ is gone. Simmons gone. Rebuild incoming.
Fucking clown.
I'm just sad. And the thing that upsets me is I feel like there's a lot of revisionist history going on with the Rush deal. I think it made a whole lot of sense to trade him or trade for him and pay him market value. I think that's what you sign up for. I think it's turned into a disaster. I'll admit that for sure. I mean I think a lot of it's the optics of what happened last year with Nathaniel Hackett and that whole disastrous run. I think if he doesn't start with, the clown coach, we look at him a lot differently, not to the point where we're willing to eat up $85 million just to get him off our roster. So the whole thing makes me sad because now there's no hope out. And then Justin Simmons, that breaks my heart because he's been such a Bronco his whole career. He's been fantastic. He's just been everything that you want in like a franchise cornerstone kind of player. And I think the sad thing is I think this means that they're absolutely not doing a full rebuild because the whole goal was to get under $20 million of cap between now and the start of the league season. You get $14 million off the books with Justin Simmons, which isn't nothing. And I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that you're not going to replace him, but I think that they made that decision to keep room to keep other guys who would be on the chopping block if they were doing a full rebuild. So now instead of getting rid of Cortland and Jerry and Tim Patrick and DJ Jones and Garrett Bowles, now you get rid of Justin Simmons and one of those guys, and then that gets you $20 million by Wednesday, and then you restructure the rest. So I think that's hell.
Tyler?
I don't understand the stance that you're taking to be a Russell Wilson apologist. And
it was cool when he was on our team, but
you're
I don't give a fuck about him.
You're a clown. You're a clown. Honka honka. Listen, looking back at the trade, yes, you make that trade. You always make that trade. But he fucking sucks. So it's his fault. It's his fault.
Yeah, and I was saying before, go ahead.
I don't know where, if he didn't have a bad coach. Well, if he was good, then it wouldn't have mattered, right? He's not a rookie. He's a fucking veteran that can come in and he knows how to play football. Well, at least he did. No longer.
Well, the problem, and I'm on board with you a lot there. He does take a lot of this blame, but the thing that gets me is I think he is a good quarterback. He's not great. You don't want him going toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes and whatever quarterback the Chargers decide to draft whenever they want a real franchise quarterback. But I've watched Broncos football for the last 7 years. He's the best quarterback I've seen since Peyton Manning. And I'm just so upset that it didn't work out, and I'm pointing fingers at everybody except Russell Wilson. I just feel like and I'm not saying that we should have kept him. You put me in a corner, and now I have to double down on these takes.
You don't have to do anything, first and foremost. Nobody's making you do this.
It's just I feel bad for Russell Wilson, and I hope he succeeds. And now all of a sudden, I'm
sure
the president of the Russell Wilson fan club.
Sure, and I agree with that sentiment. I hope he does great in other things. But you said he's a good quarterback. The only thing he's good at is running into sacks and fumbling the ball. That's it.
He does run into sacks quite a bit, and he fumbles way more now that you pointed it out, and now I see it.
So actually,
I'm kind of mad that you pointed it out.
I was having more fun before.
Yeah. So
I mean, not that any bit of being a Broncos fan over the last 7 years has been fun, but I was less in hell before I realized I saw what was happening.
Yeah. And you can talk about how Sean Payton's been kind of a douchebag to Russell Wilson, but that's not his guy, and he was brought in to fix this whole thing, and that's what he's doing. So now he's getting backlash because he's doing what he was brought in to do.
I get it. Yeah, I just think if you're that great of a quarterback or that great of a coach, if you could get little
you had it right.
Drew Brees to the Hall.
You had it right.
If you can get stumpy little Drew Brees, Brock Purdy light to the Hall of Fame, then, I think you should be able to win football games with Russell Wilson. And by the way, I thought that he did win games with Russell Wilson. And then for whatever reason, after, going into that Patriots game, everything fell apart.
Yeah.
I wonder what happened in that Patriots game.
Yeah. Don't know. Maybe it's getting the ball within the 5-yard line and not being able to score a touchdown. Or did we score a touchdown there? I don't think so.
I can't remember. I'm already trying to
I can't remember.
Yeah, I
just remember going into that Patriots game like, oh, we might make the playoffs. And then all of a sudden, Russell Wilson stunk.
I just think the Broncos need to hold on to their bye week until the week of or around Christmas, because that's where the past 2 years it's been really bad.
I never want to see them play on a Christmas holiday ever again.
Yeah. Tough.
It'll probably happen again this year.
Yep.
No, but I said it before the show started, and it needs to be repeated again. You're talking about Sean Payton being such a good coach and, coaching his guys up. Good coaches also know when to get rid of players and know when to retool their roster. And that's exactly like Bill Belichick. His thing was always cutting players a year too early, a year earlier than you needed to, because, they're going to fall off eventually, and you get new talent in there, get some experience, and then, you're right back to where you were. That's what Sean Payton's doing now. You understand he's on a 5-year contract too. This is year 2. So he has to make a winner within the next 3 years. That Russell Wilson money's going to come off in 2 years. So you draft a quarterback now, you get a bunch of young guys in, let them all play with each other, and then go and get free agents when that money falls off. This is a 3 to 5 year plan for Sean Payton. I don't know if it's going to work, because nothing really has worked out for the Broncos since like 2012. So, I don't know what's going to happen. These are moves you have to make. Justin Simmons, I'm really sad to see him go. Shout out that one time he sent me a cameo for my cat. My cat Clark paid for a cameo, telling, hey, thanks for letting me stay at your house. Appreciate that, buddy. I don't think we're going to get rid of as many people as you think, Tyler.
Yeah, and I don't think that we're going to be able to surround. If we draft a quarterback, we're not going to be able to surround him with young talent. We don't have any draft capital.
Yeah, and that's the whole, the thing that sucks the most about cutting Justin Simmons is I think there is quite a bit of trade value there, but with the time frame that we're looking at, we don't have the time to try to trade him. So that sucks. I
think it also has something to do with the fact that there's going to be a pretty heavy safety market out there. So I would imagine that the Broncos, I don't think that means he's got good trade value. If there's a bunch of serviceable safeties out there, not as good as Justin Simmons, he's going to be the bell at the ball. But then I also think the Broncos look like, well, if we cut him, say $14 million, and then we get a $4 million safety, we'll be serviceable, and then we could use that to try to win football games.
Wait. What if, and I don't know if there's rules around this, but what if we cut him and re-sign him on Wednesday?
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking that was a possibility.
I don't think
it's going to happen. It's not going to be.
There has to be rules about that.
It's up to the player, right? Because the player wants to get the best deal. He was cut in order to give him a lower salary. But if a team wants to match that salary, I don't think there's an issue around it.
But I guess you could have just restructured.
True.
And that's what I figured that they would do with him. Even in a situation where it's a fire sale, and
maybe he just wanted to go play for a winner.
Rebuild. And that might be it too.
And he's going to go play for the fucking Chiefs. And he's just going to be really good against.
I think he might be right. Or the Jets. I can see him in New York.
I think if he went to the Chiefs,
he played at Boston College, right?
Yeah.
I think if he went to the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes would ask for a trade because of how much Justin Simmons owns him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wouldn't be able to do anything in practice. Yeah, he'd be in a. So I think he'd request a trade.
It's the walls of Jericho every day for Patrick Mahomes against Justin Simmons in practice. It's dark times right now, but I see the light at the end of the tunnel. There's really nothing else you can do. We're $13 million over the cap. We went and traded for a quarterback that's over the hill, gave him way too much money, and now we're just in hell. I don't know how George Payton still has a job. That's the thing. That's all I can think about. That's all I could ever think about. Is like you look at all of these things and you just fucking mentioned them, Brandon. You mentioned all of these things that happened. The clown coach, the clown quarterback, the deal, the office, all of that shit happened underneath the nose of fucking George Payton. And this guy just fucking scot-free still has a job. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Dude, how could you say that about our GM? Dude, what's wrong with you?
So I've been... I feel like I've been pretty vocal in my support for George Payton over the.
No,
it's been tough. It's been tough, but I think, I think one of two things. One, they're not going to fire him now, right before the draft. If they do can him, it'll be after the draft. And then two, I think Sean Payton sees something in him that he likes. He provides value. He's obviously not making the big decisions. Like I saw a lot of folks blaming him for cutting Justin Simmons. I'm like, there's no shot that he made that choice on his own. It's a Sean Payton show. And if Sean Payton sees value in him, then I don't know. I think it'd be silly to not see value in that.
Just a passive puppet.
And I think that is another reason why you should fire him, because if it were up to Patton, then he wouldn't have fired him or cut him, because if he cuts him, then people are even more pissed at him, making him closer to losing his job. So
he's like the Seahawks GM from draft day at that point.
Yes.
You know, he's just seeing those people line up outside with signs like, "Oh, I got to get my number one pick back. I got to get the quarterback. Let me give back all those picks." That's basically George Payton. That is the personification of George Payton.
Yeah.
So, he's just Brandon. I'm sick and tired of watching you fucking spin balloon animals in your clown costume talking about the Broncos. I'm sick of it. You need to change professions.
And it doesn't have to be this way, because we're all on the same side here. We all want the Broncos to win. It's just you just dig yourself into these fucking trenches for no reason. Like, hey, Russ is gone, dude. You don't have to have his back anymore. It's okay.
Listen, I'm just loyal to my guys.
Listen to this, all right? So, what if I said that there is a guy out there that has previous head coaching experience as well as experience being a GM, and we fire Patton and bring him on to be the GM, all while he was, coaching last year, so he was doing some prep, I'm sure, throughout the season, so he wouldn't be out of the loop. Who could that person be?
So I'll tell you what,
Mike Vrabel.
Come on.
I said it earlier. It's Bill Belichick, silly.
Yeah. I don't think that would work, because then it wouldn't be the Sean Payton show.
Get his skitty up there.
How many times do you think he's like cleaned up like jizz with that hoodie and just put it back on?
I hope never. I'm gonna just say never. Just in case.
Yeah, I feel like when you have $100 million, you have a couple of sweaters.
Yeah, but he looks kind of dirty. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
I saw that ring. I saw that doorbell video.
It's a different breed of dirty.
I saw that wife beater. That shit hasn't been cleaned in years. Not since the fucking Bledsoe years.
Also, I just want to rebuke one thing. You mentioned that Bill Belichick was really good at cutting guys a year before. He also had Tom Brady, so it doesn't matter.
It's awesome when you have a quarterback, and we didn't have a quarterback, so you just kind of got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You knew Russell Wilson wasn't the guy, so you had to move on. He never had to cut Tom Brady, because guess what? Tom Brady was the guy.
Yeah, that's a different thing than what you were saying. You made it sound like the exact same thing. Super Bowls because he cut guys too early as opposed to too late.
I'm saying the Patriots had all that success. They had all that they had all that roster talent because they knew how to fucking control a roster. They knew what talent they needed to have. They knew what talent they needed to get rid of and retool on. That's what it's all about. Yeah, you have to have good players. Crazy. You have to have good players in the NFL. Yeah, but you also need a lot of. You need great players. You also need a lot of really good players. And if a guy like Justin Simmons is even taking a step back, then you get rid of him now, and then you go and try to get the next guy, and hopefully he's ready in a few years.
I see what you mean. I'm just trying to point out the fact that the Patriot way is actually kind of bullshit, and they just had Tom Brady.
I'm with you. I hear you. But also, I disagree.
Like that whole philosophy is probably the best. I just get so emotionally tied into these guys. I'm like, I want Justin Simmons to play. Same thing with Von Miller. I want them to be Broncos for the rest of their lives, even if they're 55 years old. I'd
say up until maybe this year, I thought Justin Simmons was just a witch doctor, because I never saw any value on the field. He was just always hurt. He was always missing time. And then finally, the last couple of years, he turned it on and he showed me his value. But
missing,
that's wild.
6 games in 7 years? Is that the
dude? That's a fucking But it was always the most annoying games. Like, hey, guess what? We're just not gonna have any safeties because Justin Simmons couldn't play today.
What, like 4 straight games with an interception against Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, that's why the Chiefs can't sign him. That would literally break the locker room. But hey, I spoke to the man on Cameo. Well, he spoke to me on Cameo. We're kind of best friends. We talk to each other all the time. So I'm in his corner. I hope he goes to the Bills. He'd be cool on the Bills. He'd be fun on the Bills. Yeah.
I'd be
because they cut a bunch of they cut a bunch of secondary guys too. Jordan Poyer. I think they're trying to. Did they restructure with Zadarius White or did they Tre'Davious White? You know what I'm talking about, right? Tre'Davious White.
Yeah, they cut him.
Oh, they cut him? I know they're trying to restructure. Yeah, so they cut him. Yeah, so they're getting rid of people. Where do you guys think Russ will go? Because I know there's a lot of speculation. The Vikings, Pittsburgh.
Oh, I'm praying that he goes to Pittsburgh just so I can sit there and watch Murphy just fucking watch the excrement on the field. Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, the Steelers. I hope he goes to the Vikings. I think that's his best chance to succeed. He'll have much better weapons than his previous stop. Probably better coaching as well. So I think that'll be a good spot for him.
How did you guys feel about Jason Kelce retiring?
Don't care.
Just a quick. I just popped into my head.
Sorry that happened, or I'm happy for you. I'm not reading all that.
I think Russ is going to go to Pittsburgh as well. I think that makes the most sense.
I think so too, and I don't think it's going to work out that great. And I
don't think anything's going to work out.
More egg on my face.
I mean, it is what it is. Kind of can, que sera, I guess. JJ McCarthy, Bo Nix. You mean JJ McCarthy's going top 3. The more passes he misses, the higher he moves up the draft board. It's insane.
Well, then, are you guys ready for Jaden Daniels?
I actually am. I've talked myself into Jaden Daniels. I love him.
Yeah, I spent so long not wanting JJ McCarthy, and everybody just kept saying, yep, he's going to the Broncos. So I forced myself to accept it and be pretty miserable before it even happens. So,
it's going to be bad.
Yeah, I don't know who they're going to get. It sounds like they're pretty set on taking a guy, whether it is Bo Nix or JJ McCarthy or however that shapes up. And I don't really like any guy in this draft particularly other than Caleb Williams. And I know we're not getting him, so I just kind of whoever the Broncos get, I'll find a way to talk myself into him.
So we're just forgetting about Drake May, the GOAT.
He's another Daniel Jones in my mind. It's all Duke is, just a fucking Daniel Jones.
He didn't go to Duke.
Yeah, I know, but it's North Carolina. It's Chapel Hill. It's fucking around the same place, dude. They're just that area, North Carolina.
Yeah, he played for the North Carolina basketball school and the ACC. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, and put up numbies. Yeah.
Probably. I mean, he could very well be good. I just don't know anything about any of these quarterbacks.
He has all the talent in the world.
Yeah, but does his draft stock keep rising with every pass he misses in the combine?
No, he didn't have to because he's already good.
Yeah. JJ McCarthy's our guy.
Combine. Can't believe I get on here and talk with you guys every week. You
can't believe you get on here and talk with us? I can't believe you're still invited. What the hell?
I mean, his name is
Tyrann Mathieu re-signed with the Saints. That's nice.
I didn't know he was still playing.
Talk about over the cap. Jesus Christ.
How goes to the Bills? Yeah, no shit, dude. Every single year they have to fucking play. They have to tightrope.
Boy, good thing we don't have anybody involved in that fiasco running our football team. Am I right, boys?
Absolutely. Not us.
Yeah, he's a new man. Took a year off.
Did you guys hear? This happened while we were on break. Did you guys hear about that Jags employee that laundered it was an ungodly amount of money and bet it all on FanDuel? $22 million.
That's
hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's going to be
I just want to know what kind of parlays he was cooking up.
I mean,
Brooks going to weasel his way somewhere into a facility, going to embezzle a bunch of money and just bet it all away.
That's basically what this guy did.
And then he's going to be calling me, say, all right, that guy in prison. All right, I'll put 2 units on.
That'd be great. I would love that. I'm actually super. I've been talking to Brooke a lot about college basketball. I'm fucking ready for March, dude.
He is something else. I mean, he must have been bored last night because he was coming at Brandon.
I don't even like college basketball, dude. But I like the Big 12 conference in general. And he still finds ways to chirp me. His basketball team is having the best season of his lifetime, and yet he's still finding shit to get at me for.
Well, I mean, we're all Husker fans here, so it's your basketball team too.
Well, I mean, now we share a common Eskimo brother. Brian Ferentz going to be on the staff. Congratulations, guys! Your offense is better.
I don't think that's true, but I think that would be sick. Yeah, just keep him away from the quarterback and keep him away from play calling, and he's an asset probably.
I mean, he is one of the top offensive minds in the Midwest, so you're going to love having him, and your punting team's going to get so much better because of it. So just like that's a win-win in my book. Oh yeah, hey Tyler, did you ever think that we would be on Stephen A's side of the argument when it comes to Russell Wilson?
Oh God, what the hell did he say?
Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like that argument that him and RG3 had where Robert Griffin III just got on TV just saying that nothing was Russell. Basically just saying what Brandon just says. Like, nothing's Russell Wilson's fault. It's all the Broncos. And then he said he's trying to make chicken out of chicken shit. It's like, I don't know if you saw that clip.
I feel like Russell Wilson and RG3 are kind of cut from the same cloth during their careers.
Kind of. I mean, one of them won a Super Bowl. So I guess he has that.
Sure. Yeah.
Maybe the Cowboys should get Russ.
I think that Russell Wilson's main goal was just to ruin the Broncos.
Oh, mission accomplished.
Yeah. He beat their ass in the Super Bowl and then just like completely ran that franchise into the ground.
And see how easy it was to flip Brandon. No thoughts of his own. You need to get offline, dude.
No, stay online is the best.
I spent too much time online. I got into a Big 12 Discord group the other day.
Oh God,
it's not a good time.
I can imagine. This sounds miserable. Dan Orlovsky, nobody's jumping at Russell Wilson right now. Tyler, how are the Mets looking so far? Have you been paying attention?
I have. As they do every year, they wrote me in. I've been watching pretty much every spring training game. It's good. They're going to be playing baseball. They certainly are.
They are going to be playing baseball.
Well, you know what they say.
Love that. Like
they're one in March.
Well, they certainly might be lost in March because before camp even started, our supposed ace went down indefinitely with an arm fatigue, shoulder, scapula fucking injury. It's the most bizarre thing. Totally the most New York Mets shit of all time. It's crazy how this happens every single fucking year.
Yeah, isn't that just part of the deal with being the New York Mets ace? Is that like 3 out of 4 years you go down with the season-long injury for no reason?
Yeah.
Whoa. Nobody's saying season long.
Well, it's not going to hurt.
It's going to be like 2 to 3 months. He's going to probably miss like 1 month this season.
Wasn't that the story with Jacob deGrom a couple years ago?
Yeah, Jacob deGrom is different. Yeah, Jacob deGrom's different.
He won a bunch of Cy Youngs. That's why he's different.
And you know what sucks? Is I just recently acquired quite a few Cody Singa rookie cards, and then he dies. It's funny how that works.
R.I.P. Yeah. I'm actually looking now on ESPN.com, and I'm seeing like 3 straight articles of Pete Alonso saying, I have a vision being a lifelong Met. And then the very next article is David Stern saying, yeah, he's probably going to go to free agency.
Did he actually say that?
Well, he said he's like unlikely to get a long-term deal before free agency. Not to say we're not going to sign him. It's just we're probably not going to extend him.
Future Los Angeles Dodger Pete Alonso.
Scum of the earth, Scott Boras.
Yeah, but his clients are kind of he's getting chirped online because his clients, like at the beginning of offseason, said, oh, we're looking at this. And then now they're taking deals way below that value. Maybe the Boras method isn't working so much anymore. Dude's washed.
I mean, Trevor Bauer's still available.
No, he's not.
I actually kind of want him. Whoa.
He's not. He just signed to a Japanese baseball team. But the best thing about it is he's paying them to play.
I thought this already happened. Like, didn't this happen last time?
No. He was in the Japanese league last year. This year, he's back in Japan. It's called a showcase team, where he pays to play for them, so that way he can get noticed by another team.
So he couldn't even make a Japanese team?
What?
So he couldn't even make a Japanese team?
I guess not. Well, I mean, after the Barstool guy, got 3 hits or 2 hits off of him.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, that's.
And then he comes online saying what he did wrong. It's like, I'm deleting that.
And to post that video is crazy.
Yeah, I'm with you. So he's playing on a Japanese tryout team, like you said. He's going to pitch against Dodgers minor leaguers with the Japanese tryout team. So I don't understand what's going on there.
Hell yeah.
I mean, whatever it takes.
What a better guy for that to happen to. Especially the way that he handled that off season before he signed with the Dodgers. I'll never forget that.
Nice fellow.
I have a question for you guys. And we're changing the subject again. I'm sorry I keep bouncing around. It's been a wild day. Have you guys seen that Steph Curry picture from last night?
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about?
One where he's doing the golf swing.
Yeah, he's doing the golf swing, showing off his golf game. Fans are going crazy in the background.
Yeah, fans are definitely enjoying it. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, the Warriors dynasty, it's probably on the back end of its days, but it's good that the fans can still come out and stand up and really get hype and excited.
Yeah, they were all in.
They were all in. Some of them were out too.
So it turns out that woman is an escort.
Wait, what woman?
Oh, that's not even the right picture. My bad. I got too excited.
What woman?
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Whoa! There he is, the God, Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer.
I mean, he really should be trying to keep that lead arm more extended. I don't think it's going to be a very good shot, but I appreciate the enthusiasm. Everybody's very excited.
I actually think Steph Curry should be arrested for ruining the game of basketball.
Yeah. Speaking of that, do you see they've been fucking ejecting college players just for bat flips and shit like that, celebrating things?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's insane.
That sounds like something they would do.
Yeah, it's fucking annoying as shit.
The show, baby.
Tyler, yeah, and actually I have a story about that after this question. So were you saying that girl's an escort? How do you know?
I was listening to the Yak today.
She was a girl with rather large knockers.
I was listening to the Yak today, and they found out a lot of information about her. Charges $900 an hour.
Ooh,
Big J journalism.
Mm-hmm.
No, guys. Speaking of the show, I do have a story. So yeah, it was cool. Last Friday, I did my first solo broadcast doing play-by-play. It was a lot of fun. A little stiff at times, could be better, but honestly, all in all, I know baseball, so it made it actually really easy, and it was a lot of fun. I have since been working a shit ton of games, including one lacrosse. I had my first softball doubleheader on Tuesday, and the softball doubleheader is one I want to talk about. So I work for George Mason play-by-play broadcasting. George Mason won the first game of the doubleheader 14-4. They mercy ruled them, so it was over in 5 innings. And the second game, George Mason was leading 2-0 going into the top of the 7th. Softball doubleheaders in NCAA, they end in 7 innings, so they get out of that inning, they win the game. The team George Mason was playing ties it up in the top of the 7th. George Mason does not score a run in the bottom of the 7th, so we go to extras. Top of the 8th, University of Massachusetts Lowell, it was their opponents. They score 3 runs. George Mason gets down to their final out in the bottom of the 8th. They start chipping away. They start getting 1 runner on base after 1 runner on base. 4 straight batters get on. Now we have runners at the corners. George Mason's down only by 2. The batter at the plate has a 3-1 count. The pitcher's kind of scuffling a little bit. The third base fucking umpire, mind you, softball doesn't have a pitch clock or anything like that. The third base umpire, just out of nowhere, this is while I was looking down at my stats, I was looking down at everything that I needed to do, just says that she was taking too long to get into the box, calls a strike on her, making it a full count with 2 outs, runners on the corners, just completely changing the outlook of that at bat. I thought looking back, maybe the softball manager for Mason didn't do enough because he did stand on the diamond. He's like, "You're going to call that right here. You're going to fucking call that right here. You got to get ejected, my man, because that's bullshit. That essentially cost your team the game, and it did. The very next picks, strike 3 swinging. It's like there's nothing you could do about it. Like the entire fucking energy of the game shifted, and like I just couldn't believe what just fucking happened to make that call right there.
There would be so much dirt on the umpire's shoes. I'd be kicking dirt all over his
brother.
ass.
We need a shovel just to get out of the fucking, just to get out of his spot.
Yeah. What a joke.
No, dude, absolutely fucking preposterous. Like, I just couldn't believe it. And I wanted to talk. I talked about it a little on the broadcast, but I didn't want to be too harsh and just get in trouble. But it was annoying as shit. I hated it.
I was working at Texas Wesleyan baseball game a couple weeks ago, and the scoreboard in the outfield wasn't working. And so there was one time where the umpire lost track of the count. So he stopped the game, and they came to ask me about it.
Uh-oh.
And I'm like, I thought it was this. And then he went out and like, all right, last ball 4. He takes his base. And then, of course, the coaches go at it for about 15 minutes. The whole time, I'm just like, did I do this?
Probably.
It's my fault.
Dude.
Am I going to get ejected?
I would love to have that much power over a game.
I should have told him a count that wasn't even close.
Yeah, it's 1-1.
Yep.
Sir, I'm pretty sure there have been at least 4 pitches in this at bat. Now 1-1.
No. Nope.
Not
on my count.
Sorry, buddy. If you had your little clicker, you wouldn't need to be asking me, but you're asking me, so now it's my call, isn't it? So 1-1.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Also, Brett was featured on SportsCenter.
I wasn't featured on SportsCenter. Rachel Warrens was featured on SportsCenter, but I was on the call.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, it was the first game.
Hear it in the background.
Yeah, it was the first game of that series that I was talking about. She just makes an insane diving catch. She's playing shortstop, just ranges into the outfield near the foul line and just dives, just completely lays out for it and catches it. It was an incredible catch. But yeah, I was on the call and you could hear it on SportsCenter, which was kind of neat. And I'm trying to play it down like I didn't send it to everybody I know as soon as I saw it. But like realistically, I know that I'm well aware that it wasn't necessarily my highlight; it was her highlight. But it was still a cool moment to be a part of, and it was kind of like a first, for one of those things. It was really cool.
Yeah, that's sick.
I made sure to shout Brett out on the Instagram page.
Hell yeah, he did. I wasn't particularly proud of that call because and admittedly, I am still new. I'm still learning kind of what I need to do, and I took that as a learning moment, but I forgot who was playing shortstop. So my call was a little delayed whenever she was ranging back because I was trying to piece in my head, okay, who's the shortstop? Okay, it's Warrens. But by the time I figured that out, she's already fucking in the air, just fucking horizontal to the ground. And she's making the catch, and all I could say was, "Wow, what a play!" And it's like, whatever it takes, because it was a wow, what a play.
So
you were letting the moment develop.
Yeah. It was nice. It was a lot of fun. And that was actually one of those times, and I called you right after, Tyler. I kind of felt myself getting better during the second game, especially as like the tensions and the stakes started to rise. Like I was setting up the moment and just really just like letting it breathe and just making sure, reminding everybody what's at stake here, just all that shit that you learn about, that you read about when you're trying to learn to be a play-by-play broadcaster. And so it felt really cool to kind of be able to like be in that moment and just like build that moment up for the people watching, or even in the booth. Like I got a lot of people just fucking up and out of their seats just by the way we were talking about the game, and it was a lot of fun.
So Brett, on game days, what are your beverages of choice up there?
Brother, gotta get Diet Coke. I'm fiending for some Diet. Yeah, gotta get some DC. No, I'll usually bring like I take my Adderall, and I do like to stay amped for the game, but I don't want to get too amped. So it depends on what time the game is. Morning game, I'll probably bring some green tea, just kind of drink throughout the game, and then switch to Diet Coke at some point. But I don't want to get the burp, so that's kind of tough. But coffee usually, but always got a DC because there's just a mini fridge just full of DC and water, so that's all you got.
Hell yeah.
What about you, Brandon? What's your drinking choice on game days?
Well, I've had to pivot because for so long when I was working in Iowa, everywhere that I went was like a 45-minute plus drive. So I would always stop at Casey's, get a breaded tenderloin sandwich, a giant Diet Mountain Dew, and then a Red Bull. And then so I'd eat on the way, and then have the Diet Mountain Dew on standby, and then slam a Red Bull.
Dude, it's got to be against the law to be driving with a sandwich that big, no?
Brother,
what the hell?
I would
like wide load. You had to turn your hazards off.
Changed. Yeah, those sandwiches are no joke.
Are you going to get the show? Are you guys going to both get the show? MLB The Show 24? You are. I see that fucking smile on your face. Yeah, you're a pussy. Tyler saw those tits, and he's like, I got to be in there, bro.
What?
They're
adding female players to the game.
Oh.
Yes, you can play as a female avatar.
I thought we were still talking about the Steph Curry.
Well, I mean, we still always are talking about Steph Curry. That's for sure.
No, I just don't. I don't think I'll buy it right away like I usually do. I just don't really have the time to play.
Yeah.
So,
what's the go-to game mode on there for you?
Road to the Show or Diamond Dynasty.
I'm a franchise guy and everything. I do like Road to the Show, but that mode gets really stale for me sometimes, especially the past few years.
Pivot to Diamond Dynasty. But I don't spend money on packs or anything like that. I just grind. I find that pretty fun. But last year I bought it, and I guess I still put in like 60 or 70 hours into it. But the year before that, I had like 100 and some hours. So
yeah, facts.
Plus, I got to get ready for NCAA to come out.
Yeah, you do. Stoked about that.
I'm starting to get nervous.
Because
I think the gameplay is going to be so much different than what it was 10 years ago, obviously. I think it's going to be closer to like a Madden game style.
They said that's not true.
Well, not like a carbon copy, but I feel like folks who are playing Madden 23 are going to be more prepared than I am, only having played NCAA 14.
So Madden has a sim mode, has a competition mode, has an arcade mode. I have a feeling if it's like Madden at all, it'll be similar to like the Madden arcade mode, where you can kind of just do crazy shit, make crazy passes, kind of just have all that craziness that NCAA normally has, as opposed to like the well-polished professional athletes that you'd want to see in a Madden game.
Yeah. Hope so, because if that's not the case, I mean, it's like I can't play Fortnite with builds anymore.
I've been to that. Yeah, no, thank you. Actually, ever since Warzone came out, I stopped playing that build shit.
Yeah, and then also it's like a whole new dev team. They're building it from the ground up, so I doubt that it'll be similar to NFL.
Yeah. I still just feel like folks who have been playing Madden have got a little bit more reps in the brain and the thumbs than I have over the last.
I mean, if you just haven't been playing football games, yeah, it's gonna be tough. Yeah. It's gonna be rough.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll figure it out.
Yep. I had a lot of fun, especially those last 5 minutes. Just wish I could have those back, started running back all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as always, everybody, thank you so much for listening. We're back from our hiatus. We will be releasing these on every Sunday, I believe now. So yeah, we appreciate you listening. If you stick around with us, if you're back listening to us, a lot of big things planned. Brandon, we had our yearly meeting. Brandon really rallied the troops, got everyone fucking fired up, standing on tables, yucking it up. I'm really excited for everything we have going on. I think this is a really good opportunity for us to try new things, practice a lot of new things, and just really branch out of our comfort zones. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So for Brandon Shanahan, Tyler Sprinkle, I'm Brett Sprinkle. Thank you for listening to Sundays with the Sprinkles. We'll see you guys next week.